Put it down. Put it down. We'll pick a toy from the front of the store. I know.
Okay, well, they don't call them the terrible twos for nothing. We're growing up on Great Day and getting advice on how to help our kids grow into thoughtful, respectful adults. Channing Loprise, therapist Shayna Lewis, and Principal Valerie Hernandez are offering their expertise to help guide you through some of your parenting problems. We're also taking your questions and comments on the phone and on Facebook. Okay, toddlers and the terrible twos. Before the break, I said that I have a friend who said, I can 100% guarantee that your child's not going to do that in the middle of a store and embarrass you. And we were all like, oh, what's the answer? Because a friend of mine had taken their toddler to like Best Buy, and he just had a breakdown, and it was all caught on camera, right? Mm-hmm. And so we go, what's the answer? He goes, yeah, don't take 2-year-olds to stores with blinky lights and things like that. But we have to be able to take them with us. That's how they learn, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Those tantrums, though, how many of you have the one where you just wanted to walk away and act like you didn't know the child? Yes, right, right, okay. This one right here, this little girl wanted McDonald's and nothing was going to tell her she wasn't getting it. Take a look at this. Okay, so when we see that, I mean, that's pretty strong right there. And kids, they can be that way. Yeah. But I think every parent's greatest fear is that, are they heading for the lockup in a few years?
Mm-hmm. And not necessarily. Children are vying for testing their limits to see how far they can go, which is why it's important for parents to set a structure that they can understand how to operate within.
Yeah.
And if we don't do that, then the result is going to be what we see, kids losing their entire mind.
Yeah, and when it comes to that tantrum out in public, I think a lot of us, we're concerned about how we look.
Right.
And so we give in. My son had the whole grand thing in a grocery store because he wanted this big soda, and we were checking out, and I finally gave in. And a couple of parents looked at me and said, way to go, Mom, way to win that one. Let me, a word of advice, do not butt in on another parent's moment, okay? Right? Do not, right? So I did buy the soda. We got out. I got in the car. I drove around the corner to the dumpster. And then I got out of the car. I took a big swig and went, this is so good, and chucked it into the trash can and said, you will never win this. Do you understand me? You will never win it, right? So I got out with my sanity and self-respect, but you are not getting this. And he never did it again. Right. Okay, but as you mentioned, it's about testing them. So how do you handle the big meltdown?
I have a 2-year-old right now who is in the middle of doing meltdowns, and I'm the parent that looks at it and walks away. She's not going to leave herself there alone, so she'll catch up eventually.
After a couple of times, she'll embarrass herself.
Exactly. But if I don't acknowledge it and just carry on as if it's not happening, she seems to not, if she doesn't get her attention, then she just stops.
Yeah, she learns that that method is not working.
Right. Exactly.
So, child in aisle 6, somebody come get your child in aisle 6. All right.
Well, I was going to say, Dr. Jim Fay, who does Love and Logic, teaches us that one of the things you can try is to make a statement. If I will talk to you when you calm down, and then you, like you said, you turn and you walk away. And when they don't have that audience to put the show on for, and they understand that they will be heard when they calm down and can speak, then that gives them more of an opportunity to calm themselves and collect themselves.
Because you'll have that with the younger kids and probably some of the older kids in school every day. So you're nurturing, we're there, we want to hear what you have to say, but not in this state. Some parents have figured out a way to go ahead and handle this as well, I think. And so do we have this soundbite here of how this parent kind of handled this thing?
Where's my Wi-Fi? I hate you, Wi-Fi! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! I wanted soy. I wanted soy! I wanted soy.
Okay, so they decide to show their kids, here is what you look like, right? But the last father there, I have to say, he's kind of making fun of his kid. It's funny to watch, but what does that do to a child when they really feel like they're not being heard anyway, and then you're doing that thing?
Yeah, then you're making fun of them. at that point. And you may actually put yourself in a different position where now they don't want to even talk to you at a point where you may need them to talk to you at a point because you're going to make fun of me when I'm having a hard time. And I'm glad you brought up love and logic because that's something that I teach parents at my office too, parenting classes, doing the phase procedures. And it's all about teaching children responsibility and accountability. Even at a young age, you are responsible for your behavior, and you can be, but allowing them to own their behavior.
All right, we have Audrey on the line. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning.
And what's your question?
My question is for 3-year-olds. I have a 3-year-old grandson who goes to school, and sometimes he gets bored and he acts out. How do you discipline him at home where he correlates what happens at school? And is it ever appropriate to spank preschoolers?
All right. Acting out, obviously. And again, part of that, too, she said 3 years old, I think, is not being able to express yourself. And sometimes the only way you get the attention you need is to cause a ruckus.
Exactly.
So, and I know she touched on that spank or not to spank thing. That's a tough one for a lot of parents. It's positive reinforcement is what I think we used to have, in schools, you used to have the paddle. And
we
today,
used to.
we used to. Right? But yeah, now it's about the positive reinforcement. So,
and the school system, I think, is going towards that a whole lot, where they have the red, yellow, green, and all those things in the classroom to help children learn how to be accountable for their behavior. It's very obvious. I can see when my behavior moves, then my little clip moves.
Right.
Now it's yellow, now it's red. And I think it's important as a parent to be in contact with the school, to have the conversation. Maybe you need to go to the school, sit in the classroom. When the behavior happens, immediately address it. Versus 3-year-old getting all the way home, they don't know what they're in trouble for anymore.
they don't make the, it's almost like a dog.
They
You know,
don't make
you
the
spank the dog for a wedding in the house, like, you know, when you get home, right? And he's like, what did I just do? I thought you were happy to see me.
Right.
Yeah, all right. We have someone in our audience who wanted to make a comment. Hi
I
there.
have a comment over the first segment when y'all were talking about how fast you respond to an infant's cry. In my studies, I have learned that the faster you respond, it validates that they're an important person, and they begin to attach to you. And attachment is the most important, singular important thing to academic success.
Yeah. Is there a correlation? I know so many parents get so like, okay, where do you have your child enrolled? It's like, I am negative 2 months pregnant right now. What do you mean, where do I have my child? You know, they have to have the best schools, the best moment. We're playing music to our babies in the womb, all these types of things. Is there a correlation, Dr. Hernandez? Do parents need to worry so much about being in that perfect daycare and all these stuff before their child ends up in grade school?
It's really about the environment that you provide for them even before they come to school, and allowing them the opportunities to figure out what in their environment works for them and how to negotiate those things. Another one of the renowned psychologists, Dr. Carol Dweck, talks to us a lot about mindsets. And growth mindset means I know that if I try, if I ask for help, if I have some strategies, I can get where I need to go. And what we want to understand is that a school itself is not going to produce that. It's the attitude that a student has as they grow up about what kind of perseverance, what kind of grit does it take to get through things. Because if they have too many successes all at once and they don't have that opportunity to fail, then they get an inflated sense of their abilities, and then the first time they run into some conflict, it's a tough thing.
Yeah. All right, you talked about the word negotiate. We saw this video that went viral, and this is the one where the little boy, his mother is trying to discipline him, but he is not backing down. Take a look at this.
But I'm letting you know that you cannot, you're not listening to me. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. No, you're not listening. I said no cupcakes.
Yeah, so he's just going, Linda, listen. Now, you know, I have to say, there's a powerful little moment there. He's saying, listen. We're so busy telling our kids what to do. Sometimes we need to stop and listen and think, what is your kind of answer to all of this?
Right. I think hearing our children is probably the #1 best lesson any parent can walk away from this show today. Because they have a message they're trying to relay to us, and if we don't hear it, we don't know how to act appropriately.
Yeah. All right. Well, when we come back, many of them have barely been around for a full decade, but preteens and tweens, they know everything, how to set things straight when we come back.